grab your snacks, hide your showmance, ditch your reliance, and let's dive into the Big Brother drama with Kinda Unhinged. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another Big Brother video, and we are on episode 10. So we start this episode right after the nomination ceremony, and Will is pissed. He is pissed. He is ranting. He is over it. Lauren, if Will becomes HOH, you're the target. Not only are you going up, but you are the target because you have upset this man, okay? She tried to go apologize to him and he wasn't having it. He played nice, but he was like, man, this is fake because if you because if you were sorry, then you wouldn't have put me up there. He's over it. He's gunning for her. Lauren has made an enemy out of Will, officially. Then we had a little segment where some of the house guests were up in the HOH room and they were talking and they were asking Ava, like, all the guys in the house, if you didn't have a boyfriend, who could you see yourself in a showmance with? And she goes through all the guys and why she wouldn't see herself in the showmance with them. And then she says that if Rachel wasn't married and she didn't have a man, that's who she would go for. They had a little moment where they talked about how hot Rachel is. She knows she is. That was random, but that was in there. Now, y'all know Kelly wears me out volunteering to go on this block every single week. But Kelly was like, listen, don't worry about all that. Worry about yourself because I know what I'm doing. This is strategic because now all of these people are going to owe me big time because I did something huge for them. And I said, you know what? You right about that. And she said, they better be ready when I come to collect. And I said, okay, Kelly, I shut up. Maybe you was right. I don't know. I wouldn't have did it. I think it's crazy. I think you're playing fast and loose and you still got to get through tonight. So now Keanu is realizing, hey, I don't have Casey coming in this week winning the power of veto for me. I got to do it on my own. So maybe I need to get somebody that I think, would take me off if they got to play in the veto. So he's talking to Adrian and he's like, would you use the power of veto on me? Like if you got it?
Not a chance!
And Adrian, he's like, I don't know. Like he's hemming and hawing because really Adrian would definitely not use the power of veto on Keanu because they're not even cool like that. He already said he's on his list after he threw Will under the bus. But Keanu doesn't know that. We got a little moment with Ashley, Will, Mickey, and Zach. They were talking about Clark Kent. And somehow Ashley has no idea that Clark Kent is Superman. I don't know how she doesn't know that. But she didn't know that. Then we find out that there's a little love triangle going on between Zach, Morgan, and Lauren. So Zach, he's telling a couple of the guys, like, I'm trying to keep my distance from Morgan because I can tell that she likes me, but I don't really like her like that. I like her as a friend. I'm into Lauren. And then Vince, he summed it up nicely. Vince said, Morgan likes Zach, Zach likes Lauren, and Lauren wants to play Big Brother. And I think that's exactly correct because Lauren's not into Zach like that. Zach already said he's not into Morgan like that. So I don't even know if you would call this a love triangle. This is more like a line, a line to nowhere. So speaking of Vince, Vince has a final two with Lauren as well as a final two with Kelly. And this week, he's got Kelly on the block who would want him, if he were to play in the veto, would want him to take her off the block. And then he's got Lauren who would want him to keep her nominations the same. So, of course, he's promising both of them that he'll do what they want him to do. But in addition to that, Keanu asked him if he would use it on him if he won. And he agrees to that. And then somehow he volunteers to Will that, hey, if I win the veto, I would pull you off too. And it's like, dude, why are you promising everybody that you're going to use it? So he's basically in a position where he doesn't want to get picked to play in the veto because this would be worst case scenario for him. If he wins, he would have to show his hand. And of course, when we get to pick players for the veto, Vince is picked to play in the veto, along with Ashley, who is picked by Will because he hopes that she would use the power of veto on him if she wins, and she says that she would. So we get to the veto comp, and the veto comp is featuring the characters from Bad Guys 2. And in this comp, they have to get over to a safe that contains a MacGuffinite crystal. But along the way, there's all these tripwires that they have to navigate and not set off. When they get to the other side, this crystal's huge. So this was a pretty hard competition. I don't think any of them had an easy time with it. And Keanu is the one who pulls it out and wins the power of veto. And once again, this is to everyone's dismay, especially Lauren. Because now she's got to put another person on the block. And Lauren doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. She wants to play really safe. And because she wants to play so safe, there's really only two choices that she has, and that's either Ashley or Adrian. The problem with picking Ashley is she would make more people upset because Ashley has ties to more people than Adrian. Adrian doesn't really have ties to anyone, so you wouldn't upset anybody but Adrian. So it would make sense for her to choose Adrian if she doesn't want to rock the boat too much this week. But before we get to the veto ceremony, Keanu also won something in addition to the veto. He got to invite 3 other house guests to watch an advance screening of Bad Guys 2 with him. And he chose Rachel, Jimmy, and Ava. And he picked those 3 players strategically because he said these were the 3 players that he needed to reestablish relationships with. And I think that was really smart on his part. Whether it'll work or not, I'm not sure. But I think it was a smart move. So they seem to really enjoy the movie. So after that, we are at the Power of Veto ceremony. And of course, Keanu takes himself off the block. And now it comes down to Lauren. Is she going to put up Ashley or is she going to put up Adrian? And to no one's surprise, at least not to my surprise, she puts up Adrian. So that was pretty much it for this episode, guys. It comes on again tonight. Obviously, we'll have the live vote and eviction and the BB blockbuster. But hey, you guys let me know what y'all thought about this episode in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe. If you like this video, please hit the like.
Flurries, you better grab a life vest, Kristen.